Hey everybody, it's Friday again, so that means another Blast from the Past video. Today we're going to be looking at the Cobra Island beachhead, Wayne Sneeden, G.I. Joe's drill sergeant and trainer. Sorry for not posting this last week, but I wasn't feeling well. You can probably still hear that I'm still sick, but I don't feel as bad, so I'm gonna get the video out of the way now. Get back to the normal swing of things for Friday releases. So the beachhead was under the Cobra Island stamp, as you can see. That was basically a Target exclusive line, with exclusive only to Target stores in the United States. Obviously, Target isn't everywhere, so like where I am in Europe, we don't have Target, so we could get these at any online store that sold G.I. Joe products. But in the United States, you were pretty much limited to either Target or Pulse. Well, though, I wasn't collecting the line at the time, so I'm not sure if Pulse actually had these figures. But I do know that there was a huge issue with Target's ability to keep these items in stock, whether it was because scalpers were picking them up to sell them for a huge markup online on eBay, or just because the Targets had logistics problems. We were getting into the COVID lockdowns and everything by this point, so a lot of stuff was having issues getting on the shelves. This wasn't the only thing, but I think this hurt because, like I said, this is a Target exclusive in America, so this is the only place you could get them. You couldn't get them online at online stores or anywhere else. So if Target was having problems keeping them in stock, then you just weren't getting the figures. Some figures had more issues than others. The Cobra Viper and the Cobra Trooper, Cobra Island version of the Cobra Trooper, both had a hard time staying stocked, mostly because they were troop builders. Like Beachhead, you might have been able to get lucky and get Beachhead because as a unique figure, people weren't buying him in as large quantities as Vipers and the Troopers. Although I'm sure some people still did, either to repaint him or just to sell him on eBay, like I mentioned. But in any case, the Cobra Island debacle would rear its ugly head again in the second Cobra Island wave, which was, I think that was the one with Firefly in it, maybe Major Blood. Honestly, I can't remember which waves had which figures in them. I think with the second wave that had the Viper and Firefly. The first wave had Beachhead and Baroness and the Cobra Trooper. And the second wave had Major Blood. But they didn't do any better with the second wave. And after the second wave, I think that was when Hasbro decided, that's it with the Cobra Island stuff. Let's move on to something else. And then Target ended up getting the Tiger Force and Python Patrol exclusives instead. So that's where they're at now with exclusives. They get those figures. No more Cobra Island stuff. They just get repaints. No more unique figures that people can't get anywhere else. I think that was the main issue people had with the whole Cobra Island thing, is they were trapping unique characters like Beachhead and Baroness and Major Blood behind Target exclusive, so they couldn't get them anywhere else, And these are key characters, Baroness and Firefly are two of the most popular characters in G.I. Joe. To restrict them only to Target was a really poor decision on Hasbro's part. But it is what it is. It happened. And luckily, we've gotten a new Firefly since then that's been a wide release. Baroness has been released one other time in Retro, and now she's just come out in the Crimson Strike Team which is also an exclusive, but actually the retro Baroness was a Walmart exclusive. So Baroness has been nothing but exclusives, and all her releases have been nothing but exclusive. The only one that wasn't a release, but was exclusive, was the version that was from the Snake Eyes Origins movie, and no one even wanted that one. But the retro version of Baroness wasn't that hard to get, and the Crimson Strike team, although expensive, is still available now. So if you wanted to pick that up, it wouldn't be that difficult either. It's actually a pretty good-looking Baroness as well. Like I said, Firefly, we've had a re-release of Firefly in a standard wave, and Beachhead is due to get a retro release pretty soon. He's been name dropped for the pipeline as a retro release, although we haven't seen any renders or anything like that. We have no idea when he's going up for pre-order, but that should be a wide release. Hasbro did say that the retro figures are going to be wide release from now on. They're not going to be Walmart exclusives anymore, because Walmart had their own problems with their retro exclusive when they had that as their exclusive. So we'll get into that when we go over a retro figure. But that's all the exposition regarding Beachhead and the Cobra Island. I won't be repeating this on future Cobra Island Blast from the Past, just to keep the videos shorter. This one will be longer as a result. So let's just get right into the Beachhead box. It's the same box that we're used to, except this one's got the Cobra Island logo on it. You got the Beachhead picture on the side here. Wayne Beachhead Sneeden. More artwork on the side. Nice Terradrome picture on the back. This is on Cobra Island after all. And there's a different look of the artwork that was on the back of the Cobra Island boxes, rather than that collage, that figure collage that we saw in the previous boxes. You get a picture of Cobra Island itself, which was pretty cool. This is probably the best thing about the whole Cobra Island thing, is this neat artwork on the back there. You got some close-ups of certain sections of the island as well, as you can see. And then you got the Cobra Island stamp again, legalese. On this side, you got Beachhead number 10 in the line. There's his file card, basically. On the top, you get the number 10, the window to let the light shine in. The bottom, more legalese. As you can see, my box is a little beat up. I actually, because I started collecting the line later, I didn't get into it in time to get Beachhead. He was sold out by the time I got into the collecting. But there's a nice forum for any G.I. Joe fans called His Tank forum. And I've been a member of that forum now since December of 2021. And a guy on the forum, there are a lot of nice people on that forum, and one of the fellow forum tankers, as we call them, sold me this Beachhead as well as the Baroness and Coil for basically just what he paid plus shipping. So I was able to get them that way, because they were sold out over here in the UK by then. So props to him for helping me out. The only issue was that the box got a little beat up in transit, but that's okay. I'm an opener, as you can see, so the box being pristine isn't that huge of a deal to me. And the Beachhead himself he looks pretty good. Now, some people had issues with his looking a lot different than the standard original release, but now that we're getting a retro release at some point, it'll probably look more like the original action figure. I don't mind this one. Like I mentioned in previous reviews, the initial few waves of G.I. Joe Classified were kind of taking the aesthetic from the Blackout video game. And Beachhead, if I remember, I've never actually played the game, but I do remember someone saying that Beachhead wasn't actually in that game. But I think they still went with that same kind of aesthetic, even though they weren't like lifting it directly from the game itself. But he still looks pretty cool. I mean, he's obviously recognizable as Beachhead. You can't look at this, if you're a G.I. Joe fan, you can't, someone handed this figure to you, you know it was Beachhead, right? I mean, there wouldn't be any kind of, who is this guy? You would look at this and be like, oh yeah, that's Beachhead. But he's got the the Joe Pro on the side there. He's got this vest overlay, which is removable if you pop the arms off. You can get that vest off. It's not like hooked in or anything. I don't think you have to cut it off. You might have to. I know you have to cut it off of Firefly, the overlay he has. You have to cut his off. You might have to cut this one off too. I'm not sure. It's not really that soft. It's kind of hard, really. So you might have to cut it off. He's also got several overlays on his leg. He's got a holster for his sidearm on that leg. And on this leg, he's got a pack of pouches, basically, strapped to his leg there. And then on the bottom, he's got this knife, which for some reason requires 3 straps. That's quite a lot. But let's get into articulation. His head, he doesn't get a lot of tilt on the head. He can go back quite a bit, but forward not so much. Oh, wait, okay, there we go. I guess his ball joint was a little stuck, so he can go forward quite a bit. Okay, he's got some tilt there. Tilt, tilt, tilt. And get your Exorcist twist on there. His shoulders go up about there. He does have the butterfly joints, as you can see. Go forward and back there. He's got pinned, double jointed arms. Got the bicep cut. It's got the the side to side joint on that arm, on that hand, and then up down on the left hand. For whatever reason, Hasbro decided to make like almost all their figures left-handed. I don't know what the point of why that decision was made to make everybody left-handed in G.I. Joe. Not everybody, but there's enough, considering how rare left-handed people are. I think only like, what is it, like 15-20% of the entire population is left-handed. To have like 70% of them be left-handed is kind of weird. But I don't know what the point of that was, unless one of the designers just happened to be left-handed and decided, hey, let's make everyone else left-handed too. It's not an issue, it's just weird, that everybody's left-handed when it's not common. Anyway, the overlay kind of prevents any kind of torso movement, as you can see. You can't go forward or back very far. You can turn, and that's common with the G.I. Joe classify. He's got that drop down hip. You can drop them both down and splits. Dropping down the hips helps with the splits. You got those Van Damme splits there. He's got pinned legs, and they're also double jointed. He's got a thigh cut. He's got a boot cut, hidden by the boot, which is good. His foot goes back that far, goes forward that far, and you got the rocker action there. And of course, pegs on the bottom to put him in the stands. Accessory-wise, he comes with his beret. Beachhead is a ranger, so he has your ranger beret. It's a nice red beret there with the emblem on it. I'm pretty sure that's not official ranger emblem. Hasbro tried to get official emblems for like the tattoo on Gung Ho's chest, but they were denied by the military, so I can't imagine that The Marines said no, the Army probably did as well, so he probably didn't get the Ranger, the correct Ranger emblem. He also comes with the sidearm. Now, one of the big problems with Beachhead is his weapons are all painted, well, molded, I should say, in the same, like, lime green, very ugly looking plastic. I've been meaning to paint some of them, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So, gun goes in the holster there. He also comes with this knife, and as I showed you with the Red Ninja, I painted the blade. The actual blade is all green, same plastic as the handle, but I was like, no, I'm going to paint that. So I did get around to painting that. I just haven't gotten around to painting the guns yet. But he got that nice knife that slides into his sheath down here. He comes with this black backpack, which is similar to the one that the original character came with back in the 80s. It's a pretty good looking backpack. No paint on it. It would have been nice to have some paint to break up the monotony of the all black plastic mold. Just to put some, like, silver in there for the buckles and whatnot. Just to break up the all black design, but it is what it is. Hasbro only has so much of a budget they can use for these figures, so in order to give us as many accessories as we get, they got to cut back on the paint apps. He also comes with the crossbow, all green again, as you can see. It's a different mold than Scarlet's crossbow. This one doesn't come apart like hers does. The original character actually carried this on the backpack, but it was not removable. So it's nice to get one that's actually removable. And you can still stick it on the backpack as well. You just take the handle there and just shove it right into that hole in the middle. There you go. And it sticks on there. Just like in the original figure. And then it pegs into its back. Last but not least, he comes with this weird looking gun that is not based on anything in reality. Nerf actually has a gun that's exactly like this, an exact same design and everything. They still weren't doing the removable clips yet. But yeah, this gun I was gonna repaint, but then I thought, even repainted, it still looks really weird. So I don't even include the gun with him in my display. I got this gun from the Valaverse weapons pack Charlie. It's got a removable clip. So I gave him this gun instead of messing with the weird Nerf gun. So my Beachhead carries that gun instead. And even though he's got the trigger, the up-down hinge on his left hand, I usually just give him the gun in the right hand because I don't want everybody on my shelf holding their weapons in their left hand. I think that looks weird. So, there we have Beachhead. I've got some newer figures that have come in that I'll be doing reviews for at some other point this week. And then we'll go to another Blast from the Past next week. I haven't taken a look to see who's next, so I'll have to wait on that one. Maybe I'll know by the next time I do a video, but Beachhead overall, pretty decent figure. I'm looking forward to the retro version. I want to see what they do with that one to make it better. So give me a like, subscribe, Did you pick up Beachhead? What do you think of Beachhead? And stay tuned next week for another Blast from the Past. And hopefully my voice will sound better. I won't be sick anymore. But until then, I'll see you next time.